Comments. The purpose of a comment is to explain something that the code cannot explain. And code can't explain everything because it's a domain-specific language. There are certain things that are outside of the domain that you cannot explain in code. Therefore, we will write comments. But every comment you write represents a failure to express yourself in code. Therefore, before you write a comment about something, try to find a way to express yourself in the code. Now, look, we are not programming in the 1960s anymore. In the 1960s, a name was restricted to 6 characters, sometimes 8. You know why? Because memory was really expensive in those days. Oh, yeah, we were lucky if we had 4K or 8K. Right? Nowadays, of course, you can have as much memory as you want. You can have names that are as long as you want. But back then, 6 characters was the rule. And you just can't say a lot with 6 characters. I worked on an assembler once that only allowed us to have 4 characters in a name, and BASIC BASIC only allowed 1 character per name, 1 character and a number. You could have variables named K1 and L2. And that's also how they did arrays. L1, L2, L3, that was the array. Nowadays, you can have as many characters as you want, so use them. The names of your functions should be verbs and verb phrases. The names of your variables should be nouns and noun phrases. And you should use those names. And you should take the excuse to make more names. You should take big functions and break them into smaller functions so that you have names on them. And then you can use those names to express yourself in code. And because you can do that, you should not have to write comments in horrendous detail. Back in the 60s, our instructors told us, write a comment for every line. And that was good advice back then because we were writing in assembly language. And if you didn't comment every line, no one would be able to tell what the hell you were doing. But that rule doesn't work anymore. We don't want you writing a comment for every line. We want you thinking about how to use the code to express your intent. And our languages nowadays are just so wildly expressive. I mean, you've got namespaces, you've got classes, you've got variable and function names of any length you want. Use those tools. Express yourself nicely. Write comments when you must, but only when you must.